Welcome to battle number 4 of week number 4 of the FnF Victory Road Draft League Season 2. This battle is pitting Benjamator 67's team, also known as Benji, which is the Star Conquerors, versus Sir Roland's team, which is Waterfront Woods. As a reminder, the Mega Pokemon we have today are Mega Blastoise and Mega Absol, respectively. In terms of Z Pokemon, no Z Pokemon are appearing on Benji's team. However, we do have Cobalion with Attack Z moves on Sir Roland's team. So let's take a look at these matchups before we begin. We have Shuckle actually returning, probably going to go for that Sticky Web Stealth Rock setup. We also have two water types, which will be interesting, versus Lapras and Torterra, also Luxray, that can take them on. So using the water types might be a little hard for Benji in this one. There's Buzzwole, which can pack a punch very hard against most of the team, actually, using fighting moves to take on Absol, Lapras, and Cobalion. But it will have to be careful of Staraptor. I think that's its biggest nemesis. Nemesis, I was about to say. Nemesis in this battle. So this will be an interesting one for Benji. And on Sir Roland's side, I think Lapras is actually looking really, really good in this matchup, taking on quite a few of Benji's Pokemon. It won't be able to hit hard and tank a hit very easily. Depending on investment, it's going to be either one or the other. For example, it could take a Flare Blitz maybe from Marowak if it's defensively invested, but then it might not be able to take the Marowak down in one hit. We'll see. On top of that, we have Torterra's first appearance, which is going to be interesting. It will be able to do good against those water types, and it does have Earthquake to threaten Marowak, but it does have to be careful of those stray ice moves. Additionally, we have Mega Absol. It can do a lot of damage, is very fast. I actually think it's the fastest Pokemon in this match, so that'll be an interesting one. It'll be interesting to see if Shuckle decides to go for setting up, considering Mega Absol is going to be present, and Magic Bounce is very potent versus Shuckle. So with that said and done, let's go into this and see how it works. Lead Shuckle is a possibility. I think we could see a Cobalion lead to set up Stealth Rock, maybe Torterra, maybe Mega Absol to bounce back anything that Shuckle has to throw at it. I think Sir Roland actually has a lot of options versus a possible Shuckle lead of Benji. Benji's lead being Shuckle is the most likely, I think, but it's also likely we could see a different Pokemon. And we see Nakarkos, the Marowak Alola versus Pit, the Mega Absol, Shiny Mega Absol. So this looks like it's a pretty good matchup for Pit, the Mega Absol. If it goes for knockoff, it could actually do a lot of damage, probably one-hit KO it. If it doesn't, it'll remove the Thick Club from Marowak, which is what it needs to be a very strong wall breaker, and Marowak will instead be demoted to something more like a tank that will still hit hard, but definitely not a huge wall breaker that just punctures teams with a bunch of really strong physical holes. So it is possible we'll see a switch out. To who? I'm thinking that Buzzwole, if we're seeing a switch out, Buzzwole will be the most likely switch out versus Mega Absol. Absol being sent out on the first turn is beneficial to Sir Roland because it can go ahead and Mega Evolve, and even if he doesn't keep Absol around once a switch-in comes in, he can keep it handy with Magic Bounce for when Shuckle decides to come out. Shuckle will have a lot of trouble setting up anything with Mega Absol around because it's basically a free switch-in for Mega Absol. Wondering if we'll see the knockoff from Mega Absol, or if we're going to see something else. Also, I apologize if you hear any noise in the background. As you know, it is quarantine time, so yeah. Alright, so we see Big Happy Water SN versus... I'm wondering if that was cut off. It might say Big Happy Water Snumthing. But Nakarkos goes for the Will-O-Wisp, actually. Oh, Snail. That's what Sir Roland says. It's supposed to say Snail. Big Happy Water Snail versus Nakarkos. Now, Nakarkos actually decided to stay in and went for the Will-O-Wisp. Really risky considering it could have been bounced right back off by Mega Absol's Magic Bounce if it decided to stay in. The Flare Blade's going to do big damage, but Surf is going to take out Nakarkos. Lapras barely hanging on by a thread and burned. In comes Rajang, the Buzzwole, to take on Big Happy Water Snail. Big Happy Water Snail is hanging on by a thread. Staraptor, Natu the Staraptor, takes an Ice Punch. It does big damage, but not enough to take it down. It's possible we'll see a Brave Bird coming from Natu the Staraptor. Think a switch-in might be possible to prevent Rajang from taking that Brave Bird. Sir Roland will have to play very carefully, though, because a Brave Bird might be enough to take down Natu in Recoil, and that is going to... yeah, it is enough to take Natu down in Recoil. It does pack a big punch versus Zamtrios, the Mega Blastoise, though, but Sir Roland's best answer to Buzzwole is now down, so it's going to be interesting to see who he sends out versus Buzzwole. Score is now 5-5, but Lapras is barely hanging on by a thread, and Mega Blastoise is at 36%, which isn't very a high percent. One more move would be enough to take it down, most likely. And Sparky the Luxray comes in. Sparky the Luxray being notorious for last season for being Sir Roland's best Pokemon, having a very big differential. And a Spark actually hits, taking down Mega Blastoise, and it's burned by its Flame Orb. Sparky looks like it has some speed investment this time, being able to outspeed Mega Blastoise. That or Mega Blastoise did not have speed investment, or both. I think Mega Blastoise is faster than Luxray. So I do think that Sparky has some speed investment. Score is now 4-5, but Lapras is barely hanging on by a thread, so we'll see what happens with Lapras and how Sir Roland decides to use Lapras. It is still possible that Lapras could go for the rest, maybe, or switch in on a Scald from Vaporeon to regain a little HP. And in comes Shuckle Atalka. It's a shiny Shuckle. It's possible we could see a Stealth Rock or a Sticky Web setup at this point. And Absol comes in, but it's not the Mega variant. Power Split is actually used. Very interesting. I actually was joking around about Power Split being used earlier, but it looks like he actually went for it. So Shuckle is now going to have some okay attack. The more important part is that Absol has a very low attack now. Shuckle has an okay attack. And now we have Mega Absol going for that Swords Dance. Gyro Ball's going to do some big damage, though, boosted by the fact that Shuckle was able to Power Trick. Pit the Mega Absol is going to have to consider if it wants to stick around versus this Shuckle. It looks like this is actually an attacking Shuckle and not a setup Shuckle, which is really interesting and really fun to see. Gyro Ball probably hitting with its maximum power of, I believe, 200, based on the fact that Shuckle is just so exceedingly slow and Mega Absol is very fast. With a Swords Dance, Mega Absol is actually probably back to where it was before in terms of attack. But Aegislash the Cobalion comes out, it takes the Gyro Ball, and it's not going to do much damage versus Aegislash the Cobalion. This Shuckle, due to having Power Split, is not as passive as one might think. But an Iron Head's going to do a lot of damage and flank Atao Ka, the Shuckle, doing almost half. It's going to take 2 more to take down this Shuckle. One more Iron Head hits and another flinch. Sir Roland saying RNGs is for the win. Down goes Atao Ka, the Shuckle, to that Iron Head. Those flinches really hitting hard. Rajang, the Buzzwole, is now out to threaten Aegislash, the Cobalion. Sir Roland said I would like the Cobalion's name, which is funny because I do not like Aegislash, and he knows that, but this is good enough for Aegislash in the league. It could be in name only. It doesn't have to be in as a Pokemon, so that's fine. Rajang does have Ice Punch, so Torterra is not safe right now. This is going to be a very hard Pokemon for Sir Roland to take down, especially since most of his Pokemon are physical attackers, the only special attacker being Lapras, who is down to 8% and burned. It's possible that Cobalion does have Zen Headbutt. It could do some damage versus Rajang, but it's going to be very hard to take down this Buzzwole on the physical side. What will be the move to take down Rajang, or will Rajang be able to attack freely? Especially with Drain Punch, it will be attacking and healing if it has that. Stare off between Rajang and Aegislash continues. I think Rajang and, to an extent, Dragonite are Benji's really, really valuable Pokemon in this matchup at this point, because it'll be really hard to take them down, and they could do massive damage to the rest of Sir Roland's team, especially the weakened ones. The two fighting types still staring off. The anticipation. Colin saying, I left and came back, but it looks like a buff bug and a steel lion are just looking at each other. Indeed, that is what's happening. The stare-off continues. And the Iron Head is going to hit. Rajang is going to flinch, recovering some HP from leftovers. It's going to take a lot to take down this Rajang, but the flinch is going to help in chipping away at Rajang's HP. With a Drain Punch, Rajang is able to regain all its HP, combined with leftovers, while Aegislash is struggling to take it down. Ice Punch is going to take down Aegislash, and Beast Boost is going to raise Rajang's attack. It's looking like a menace right now. It's going to take a lot to take this thing down. The thing with Buzzwole is you really have to attack it either super effectively, like with flying moves, or on the special attack front, because its defense is just so high. And with Drain Punch, it will be able to recover quite easily when also doing damage at the same time. In comes Sparky the Luxray. Luxray does pack a punch, but Rajang is going to pack a punch as well, especially with that Beast Boost attack increase. One thing Sparky could hope for is a paralysis from Spark. And the Drain Punch from Rajang is actually going to hit first. Facade is going to do big damage, 57%. It takes Rajang down to about half HP. But because Rajang goes first, it will be able to finish Sparky off. And the Drain Punch takes down Sparky, causing Rajang to restore a little bit more HP, and that Beast Boost is going to go up once again. In order to outspeed this thing, I think Mega Absol is probably the answer. If it has Psycho Cut or Aerial Ace, it might be able to take down Rajang. Otherwise, it looks like Rajang is poised to sweep. Literally a tree, the Torterra comes out. It will have to be careful of Ice Punch. Torterra can hit relatively hard, but it doesn't really have any moves that would be able to take down Buzzwole easily. Then Ice Punch is going to hit. Even with the Yache Berry, down goes Torterra. Meanwhile, Rajang is accumulating those boosts from Beast Boost. Pit the Mega Absol is out now. The Stone Edge is going to do 30%, but Drain Punch does take down Pit. And Big Happy Water Snail comes out. And the Drain Punch finishes off Lapras. Buzzwole proving to be an unbreakable force in this matchup. Once Staraptor went down, it was pretty much safe for Buzzwole to go ahead and sweep with that Beast Boost. It actually was looking like it was in Sir Roland's favor in the beginning until Buzzwole came out. Buzzwole just needed Staraptor down to be able to wreak havoc. But a good match overall. Fourth battle of week number 4, and this is a 3-0 victory for the Star Conquerors, which is Benji's team over Sir Roland's team, Waterfront Woods. Tune in for some more battles next time. I'll see you then.